Woo! Here with Gemma Dryburgh at the Pelican Women's Championship, coming just a couple days off your first LPGA victory. Now that you've had hopefully a couple days to process it, I know you may be suffering from some jet lag, but a couple days to process it. How are you feeling looking back on that win?
Yeah, still hasn't really sunk in yet. I'm still getting so many messages, and it's been great to see all the players and caddies this week. I think everyone was watching, which was great. But yeah, still buzzing from it. Still can't believe I've done it. It was that 18th hole. I was just kind of sinking in then. Just before that, I was just focused on the golf really. So, but yeah, can't believe it.
As you're walking up to that 18 hole, getting ready, it's sinking in. Were you starting to shake, or what'd you have to do to make sure, like, okay, stay calm, Gemma, it hasn't happened yet?
Yeah, I was really calm all day somehow. I kind of just focused on my breathing and just kind of stayed in the moment, as they say, that cliche, but it was so true that day. And then just before the 18th hole, I asked my caddy, like, how many shots do we have ahead? And he said, it was 3 at the moment, but potentially 2 if Lynn birdie's the last. So I was pretty confident I could, at least par the last, being a par 5, but thankfully was able to get the birdie.
Of all the scenarios you imagined for your first win, was winning in Japan one of those?
No. I had been to Japan once before for the World Am in 2014, so it'd been a few years, and just to even play a professional event there was really cool, so never mind winning.
Yeah. Oh,
what do you see as the biggest perks of being an LPGA champion?
Well, I kind of didn't realize how many perks you get. That night, some of the staff, we went to the 19th hole and had some octopus and some champagne. It was very, very nice. And they kind of just told us that, I get in all the majors, obviously in the Tournament of Champions, and NCME. That was a big bonus next week. So yeah, it hasn't really sunk in that all the perks I get. But yeah, very excited for next year now. I kind of have to reassess some goals.
Didn't you get an interesting prize in Japan, I thought I saw? Tell us about that one.
I won a toilet.
Yeah.
Yeah, very excited. So they asked me, where do you want the toilet sent? And I said, well, I'm renting at the moment, so do you mind if we wait until I buy a place? And they were like, yeah, we can wait. I was like, okay, great. Can't wait for the toilet.
What was the story behind that?
The story behind the Toto's,
Toto,
yeah,
right.
they're Toto toilets. They have them here, actually, at the club. They're all over the place. Didn't notice.
Very nice. You had a top 10, I believe, at the match play, but otherwise in stroke play, you hadn't had a top 10 all year, and all of a sudden things fall together like that. What really clicked, and how is it funny about golf the way that can be?
Yeah, even before my win, I was having kind of the best season I've had, ever on the LPGA. So just kind of every year I've just focused on keeping improving everything, and everything's just kind of got gradually better. Just became a little more consistent. And I think just this year I was a bit frustrated because I felt like I've been playing really well, but I just haven't really. I feel like I've had maybe 3 out of 4 good rounds, and then maybe the last round or one of the rounds on the weekend hasn't been quite as good. So was kind of getting frustrated at that, and I knew I hadn't had the results that I maybe thought I could have. So it's just nice to get that win last week.
Yeah, and you talk about being calm down the stretch. You don't know how you're going to feel down the stretch in contention like that. So was that a nice surprise?
It was, yeah, because I've dreamt of winning before, and I thought, like, oh, my heart's going to be beating at my chest, like I'm going to be shaking. But it was completely opposite to that. I was so calm. I wear a Whoop, and I had a look at the data, and I was like, it was one of the calmest, less strenuous rounds I've ever had, which is really strange. I just felt so confident in my game and my putting, and my caddy kept me calm. He had a few jokes out there. But yeah, he had, I think, a list of jokes he was going to tell me throughout the round. So yeah, he did well.
What was your travel like here? I heard you're on the grounds here Monday, is that right?
Yeah, I arrived like 1 p.m. on Monday.
1 p.m. Monday?
Yeah. So
how long is that flight?
To be honest, I was still a little bit drunk / hungover on the flight, so I'm not sure how long it took. Maybe I shouldn't be telling the media that, but I had some champagne, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, it took ages. 7 a.m. we left on Monday in Japan, and then arrived Monday at 1 p.m. So with the time difference, it was a bit strange.
All right. We have one on the Zoom. Beth Ann, will you go ahead and unmute yourself?
Yes. Hi. Congratulations.
Hi, Beth Ann.
Well played. Very cool.
Thank you.
This is Beth Ann here. I wanted to ask you, first of all, before I get to my question, what was the best joke that your caddy told during the round?
There's a few, actually. Which one should I pick? I'll pick this one. He asked me, what state in America sells the smallest soft drinks?
No idea.
Minnesota.
Of course.
I got it.
Yeah, Emily got it.
Did you laugh? I mean, did you laugh at all of his jokes?
Oh yeah, he has like constant dad jokes like every week. So this was just normal, but like this was like probably, he probably told like 3 or 4 more than he usually does. He had some would you rathers as well. I can tell you one of them if you want.
Sure, why not?
Would you rather spend 1 year in prison or 10 years in a coma?
Oh man.
Yeah.
What was your answer?
1 year in prison. I think I could handle it.
You're obviously tough. So I wanted to ask how your goals, your dreams have changed since you just ticked this major one off the list.
Yeah, I mean, one of my goals this year was to win. So I guess that continues, to win again. To get in the Solheim next year is a huge goal of mine. I think that was kind of in the back of my mind, but now it's kind of more in the forefront, I guess. But that would be incredible.
Have you talked to Katrina?
I have. She sent me a message to say congrats. She's been a hero of mine for a long time. So it's great to get another Scottish win on tour, and feel it means so much.
Okay, my last question. I remember, during COVID, you played and had a lot of success in the Rose Ladies Series. Can you talk about what that meant to you in that time period?
Yeah, I have to. I was actually going to send a message to Justin and Kate just to say thank you to them because I had 3 wins on their Rose Series tour, and I have to say, like, I know it's not a smaller event, but a win's a win, and I kind of learned how to kind of deal with those nerves during those events. And I just have to say a huge thank you to them because in that period during COVID and that next year, it was just invaluable to have those playing opportunities and pretty decent fields considering they were small events. So Georgia and Charlie were playing them, and it was just a lot of LET players. So those wins meant a lot to me.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And congrats again.
Thank you.
Thanks, Beth Ann. Want to pivot to this week. Your first time playing here at Pelican Golf Club in the Pelicans Women's Championship. Tell me how you're sort of taking it all in, getting those CME points to get into the field, and how you're enjoying it out here.
Yeah, obviously still a little bit tired from the jet lag and everything. Played 9 holes yesterday and played in the Pro-Am today. It's good to see the course. Got Paul out there walking a little bit more as well, just because he's not been here either. So, but yeah, fresh course for us, but looking forward to it. And if it's windy, I'm sure I can deal with that, hopefully, being from Scotland.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you can. How important or what made you want to be in the field for this week's event, knowing CME is next week, big purse? How is this event sort of helping prepare you for that?
Yeah, very excited. A lot of girls asked me, are you still going to play? And I said, yeah, definitely, because I feel like I just need to run with the momentum. My parents are also planning to come into town. They were already coming. So I was like, I might as well, be here and they can come watch me play as well. And they'll be here next week too. So, but yeah, I just wanted to play this week and kind of just enjoy it. And it's great to see all the players as well after a win like that too.
Mm-hmm. And now as a Rolex first-time winner, do you anticipate feeling any different when you go and tee it up on your first hole, or does it feel different at all yet?
Yeah, I think a couple of the players said, like, be prepared when they announce you and say, like, LPGA winner, when they usually say announce you on the tee. So that's going to give me goosebumps, I think. And yeah, I think I get a Rolex too, which is pretty cool. Very excited for that.
Right. Were you playing this week if you weren't in the CME?
Yes, I was planning to play, yeah.
Do you have a U.S. base or?
Yeah, in New Orleans.
Oh, New Orleans. Oh.
Yeah, I went to Tulane, so back in New Orleans.
Nice.
All right. Last question for me. I remember, I'm like thinking back to match play. That was your best finish of the year until then. And you were like the first alternate in the field,
Yeah.
right? And you got that top 5 finish. So just tell me, how have you changed since then and evolved to get this first win?
Yeah, I mean, looking back at that, it was kind of a kind of like season-changing kind of result, because I think that got me in the Open, the British Open, and got me into a few other things. So kind of bumped me up the CME quite a bit. So and obviously at the start of that week, I wasn't even thinking I was going to get in. Like I wasn't even going to maybe travel, because it's such a limited field. It's kind of unlikely that someone would pull out. But I'm so glad I did. And yeah, so I mean that probably helped me get into Asia as well. You know, that result as well. So might not even been in Japan if I hadn't gone to Vegas. Who knows?
There you go. Thank you so much, Gemma. Yeah.
Picture.